Okay. Hi. Hey. Hello. Um, Brian, don't you start. No. My bird has been my bird has been very vocal today. She would like her opinions to be known. Brian, we hear you. Well, at least I do. Please shush. Ah, you done? Nope. You good? Noted. Anything else you'd like to add? Okay. Thank you. Y'all just. Mm, my bird got opinions. Yes, her name is Brain. We had a pair. It was Pinky and the Brain. Brain lived. Pinky Pinky did not make it. Pinky was not the brightest. Um, and that's all I can say there. Give me a moment. Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to check my phone, make sure everything was good. Um, so I made a video yesterday where you didn't see my face, and I do want that to breathe. I do want that to exist essentially on its own. I'm not going back and changing much. Well, actually, I'm not going back and changing the video at all, but I would like to clarify that there's a point in there where my audio glitches and says, you can say that something was acceptable, I think was the term. And I was just like, no, I definitely said wasn't acceptable. And the audio glitches and makes it sound like I said something was. And to clarify, it was supposed to say wasn't, but that's why I'm not using the standalone microphone today. There were many audio glitches in that video using that particular microphone. When I first started using it, it wasn't doing that, and I don't know what the problem is, um, but it happened. So I'm using my headset instead, since that seems to be just a teeny tiny, a bit more reliable. Um, but while I do stand by the thing, still can't use words today. While I do still stand by the sentiment and the perspective of the video I made yesterday, and I don't want to take away from that at all, there have been a lot of inaccuracies and false things thrown around. Um, and there's a couple things that have gone kind of unnoticed, and maybe I don't need to bring attention to it, but I feel like it's at least worth noting, even if it is a small footnote in all of this. And I did not come on here with the intention of like, oh, I want to keep speaking on this. No, that's not the intention. I don't want to have to continue to speak on this, but if I'm going to continue to see false information, misinformation, and I know better, then I am going to bring that out for the public. Even if I am a very, very tiny channel. Um, because again, transparency builds trust. So, one of the things I would like to lead with is that I feel like I am shooting myself in the foot by saying this. And I don't want to get ahead of it by any degree, but I should have done more research myself into the laws of my state and the state where a specific person lived, where there were private DMs and private conversations, actual conversations had. Because now I'm sitting here wondering whether or not this is going to become another back and forth. Because from where I sit, this feels entirely too much like the Gabby and Jesse situation slash conversation. And while I would rather it be left alone, I don't control what someone else does. So if that person decides to come forward for whatever reason and say that I have said or done things that were enabling behavior or whatever the case may be, I'm now at a point where I'm ready. I don't want to have to deal with it. I don't want to have to sit here and spend my time on YouTube defending myself, but I will. And I have enough concrete um I don't want to say evidence because it sounds like there's a criminal offense and there's not, but I have enough concrete black and white things that I can point to in this situation that if they decided to come forward, it's not really going to damage me much, if at all. Do I want that to happen? No. Am I anticipating it based on the series of events that are going on? Kinda. But I'm also willing to sit here and say, just like I did a minute ago, just like I did in my video, this is where I went wrong. This is the reason why. This is what I did. This is what I didn't do. This is what I said. This is exactly why I stepped away. I don't know what is going on anymore. I know what I've seen, and it's disheartening. And that's why, like, part of what I've seen is the reason why I'm just like, oh, well, I guess I might be next on the tally line. Um, which sucks. It really sucks. Um, and if that's the case, like I said, like I'm ready. I'm not going to sit here and fight fire with fire, but I am going to provide my own series of events. Um, if that ends up being the case, and what I've seen, What I've seen has been completely and just very disheartening. Before I go any further, I want you guys, if you haven't already, if you're aware of who this person is, go give Prince a lot of love right now. Right now. Go to Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, find Prince, give him a lot of love right now. Prince, if you're watching this, you know that I have spoken to you and that I've apologized for things that aren't mine to apologize for because I feel like you deserve some form of an apology for what has gone on. And so this is me handing you an opportunity, if you want it, to speak on some things. This again, however, is not me trying to put words in anybody's mouth. This is my recollection of events as I seen them take place. If you guys don't remember, Prince is the one that got Gracie and Jen into conversation with each other and is pretty much the entire reason that Jen was able to make the Gabby Hanna video. So when everything started on Twitter with Jen and the Google Doc and everything, and she started making more harmful um, tweets, Prince came to her, and I believe it was in a YouTube comment where she had posted, I think it was on the community post, I could be wrong, where she had posted a picture of Joffrey. There's been so much. I mean, there's been absolute chaos. I don't remember if it was on Twitter or if it was on YouTube. I just remember seeing it and being like, oh my God. And he posted a comment basically saying, Jen, please stop. We supported you through all of this Gabby Hanna stuff. We had your back. We supported you. We believed you. We still do believe you. We know now that it's true. Please stop making these hurtful comments. Please stop on Twitter. Please stop engaging with all of this. This isn't a good look for you. And I thought when I saw that, oh, thank God. Thank God. Prince will be the one, like, she'll remember that Prince is the one that got her in touch with Gracie, that this was the one that helped become a catalyst for the Gabby Hanna video. Like, that this is where it needs to be recentered back to is Gabby. Like, Jen. Prince is going to be the wake up call that Jen needs. Like, thank God. Yes, Prince. Yes. And so I'm sitting here reading his comment. I'm like, yes, yes, that. Thank you. Yes, someone gets it. Someone was a supporter. Someone backed her up. Someone believed in her. And they're asking her to change. This is what we love to see. We'd love to see it. Mwah, love it. And then right below his comment, Jen responds and basically tells him to get over it and cope harder. And too bad if you don't like it, then leave. The person that helped her prove without a shadow of a doubt that Gabby had a hand in the allegations against her, that was Prince and Gracie that helped her build that video. And she basically slapped him in the face. I can't speak for Prince or how he felt in that moment. That's for him to address. But I can say that for me, that was heartbreaking. That is when I kind of gave up hope for Jen because this wasn't just some random person that interacted with her like I was. This was someone who helped her, and this is how she treated them, which to me in that moment was just like, okay, so I guess I'm next because now I have essentially denounced her. So I'm just like, oh, okay. This is how she treats Prince. Yikes. And I don't know if it was, I can't speak for her either. I don't know if it was she saw someone questioning her moves, her motives, and her decisions, and just instinctively knee jerk reaction just responded and didn't pay any mind to who it was that was saying it. Or if she saw that it was Prince and it resonated in her head and she just didn't care. I don't know. But that still kind of broke my heart because of all the people. Why Prince? I can understand responding to random trolls, to random internet pieces of crap. The toxic atmosphere of Twitter, I can understand just firing off by the hip. I can get it. I can understand it. But even I, when I have been angry, if I have posted in a Discord or a group chat or something, when I see a name of a friend that grabs my attention and I'm like, whoa, okay, they're commenting on this. What did they say? And I'm looking a little bit closer. And that'll be a light bulb moment of like, oh shit, that's how I'm coming across? Oh God, okay, well, let me recalibrate. Let me rethink what I'm doing here then. Let me take a step back. And I thought, or I really thought, that that was what was going to happen when she saw Prince's name. And it's not. And for Prince's well being, he's distanced himself. Good for him. So, again, if you haven't already, go give Prince some love. He deserves it. This this young man, because he just turned 18, this young man has been through hell in the Gabby Hanna fandom and has now been subjected to a victim of Gabby Hanna in a very familiar way. Please, by all means, go give him some love. Give him some likes, give him some follows. Not to take away from Prince at all, but just as a collection of things within one video, just to kind of keep it neat. I mentioned inaccuracies, and one of those has been from HelloLeesh. And people have been pointing it out. So this isn't something that I am alone bringing attention or awareness to. Um, but the fact that she says she's never, or let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase that. The fact that she says, I don't interact with Cody. No, but you have. And the verbiage, the issue that I take with Hello Leash is that sort of verbiage. I don't interact with her. I don't interact with them. I don't interact, meaning I don't currently, which allows people to imply that either I never did or I have in the past, but I don't anymore. And while she may not be friends with Cody, she has interacted with Cody in the past. And this is what people are pointing out. And one of those interactions has been on Cody's video. Um, it was a short, I believe, where she is asking Adam to take a look at the things that Alyssa has done. And what's interesting there is that her and Jen both comment on that short. Jen says, "Thank you so much, Cody. Done, done." Okay. I think that's the comment that's even been inserted into the Google Doc. Was that little clip where it says, "Thank you so much, Cody," and Cody responds and is like, I'd go to war for you. Love you." So what's interesting there is what Jen said is relatively short. What Cody responds with is relatively short. However, HelloLeesh, her comment is paragraphs long. Paragraphs. So in that, and it's not been deleted, but in case it does get deleted, I do still have a screenshot of it. In that paragraph, it states, excuse me, that she is aware of the Colleen Ballinger thing. The very first sentence. Hold on, let me pull this up. I'm not going to read you the whole thing. This is the first thing that HelloLeesh says in her paragraphs to Cody. "People cannot like you for whatever reasons, but it doesn't make you wrong in how you've addressed Alyssa." Okay. She then goes on and addresses the fact that there was a Colleen Bellinger situation and compares Adam and Alyssa to each other being in fandoms, which tells me that she is aware of the Colleen Ballinger situation, and she wouldn't necessarily have been aware of the Colleen Ballinger situation unless she wants to create massive distance and say that it was from a third, fourth, fifth party way, way back without acknowledging that Cody was the one that made the video that Adam then reacted to, that then opened the whole floodgates of the Colleen Ballinger situation to begin with. So that's kind of like the meat and potatoes of that. And so to say, I don't interact with them. Okay, cool. But you did. And you've acknowledged two things at once: that people don't like Cody for whatever reason, and that Colleen Ballinger, there's a symmetry between Colleen Ballinger's fandom and Gabby Hanna's fandom in regards to Adam and Alyssa. You acknowledge that yourself. You shot yourself in the foot with that comment. You didn't need to make paragraphs, but you did. And that's cool and that's fine. Stand on it then. Also, to continue to keep it neat and to essentially keep it moving, because these are just things, collections of things that I have seen within the past couple days. Now, Paige Christie, which is unfathomable to me, now she's being questioned over her acceptance of Jen's apology to her. People, this is wild to me because Paige is the one that requested an apology made by Jen, and that the Sixth Spence remove that portion of the video and issue an apology. Okay? Paige made that request. Who was upset by the statements made in that video? Paige. Who asked for the apology? Paige. Whose job is it to then accept or deny the apology? Paige. Paige saw Jen's and accepted it and said, "All good, it's squashed." But now people are just like, are you kidding me? Why is it squashed? Blah, 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 blah. Why does it matter to you? The apology was not to you, it was to Paige. And if Paige says it's squashed, then it's squashed. So then Paige was basically just like, I can't win for losing. It doesn't matter what I say, whether I say it's squashed or whether I say it's not, y'all going to have a problem with it. It's some pancakes waffle type stuff up here on the Twitter. And I agree. Because you can sit there and say, I like pancakes, and someone's going to sit there and be like, oh, so you hate waffles then, huh? Like, no, that's a completely different statement. What you talking about? And she said, this happens with everyone. Like, and someone, and yes, I'm not going to name you, but I've seen you. Okay. Someone had an issue with the semantics of that because Paige said everyone. Right. But at the end of the day, it's her apology to accept or decline. She accepted it, said it squashed. Why is everybody up in arms over whether or not she, the one that was hurt, should accept an apology or not? Why is everybody making it their business of whether or not she should accept an apology for something that was done to her when an apology was issued regardless? It may not have been perfect, it may not have been good objectively, but Paige keeps it very classy. She's very much like, I said I wanted an apology, you gave an apology, it's squashed. Regardless of the quality of the apology, it's squashed. Like, done and done, de escalate the situation. And she can't win for losing. She just wants it to be done. She's like, forget it. It's done. Like, it's all good. Water under the bridge. We're good. Thank you for the apology. We're squashed. Like, I don't understand. And then to sit there and be like, oh, everyone? Well, yeah, everyone that does this. So if it doesn't include you, then pipe down. Everyone on Twitter that jumps to conclusions like this. Like, dear God. If I say the sky is blue, somebody is bound and determined to be like, it's actually cerulean. What does it what does it matter? It's blue. It's freaking blue. I Oh Lord have mercy on me. So then this person who is focusing on the semantics of Paige's comment or Paige's reposting or Paige's response, where they're focused on the word everyone, it made me think back to HelloLeesh, and I was just like, oh, we're deflecting now. It's look over here. Don't pay attention to the big picture. Look at this teeny tiny little detail. Get caught on these details. Get caught up on these details. Bro, no. And that's what everybody has been doing is getting caught up on the teeny tiny details. Everybody's sitting here waiting for someone to have a look to look like they are flustered or frustrated. This is exactly why when Paige came out with her video, she was calm, she was cool, she was collected, she looked very stoic, and that's why. Because she understands that the internet and that social media does not grant you grace in a majority of circumstances. That they will find the smallest reason to take issue with you, and they will run with it. And they can miss the entire point of your whole video if they can disprove one little thing or see, she raised her eyebrow, she's angry, or some such shit as that, then they can essentially discredit you. And that's what is attempting to happen is people are trying to discredit other people. People are trying to discredit the validity of Paige accepting an apology through semantics. It's weird. It's gross. And while you could argue that I'm doing the same thing here with HelloLeesh, from my perspective, that is the whole picture. I feel like you would need to have the whole picture. And it feels to me like HelloLeash has more of the picture. Jen has at times said, I don't know anything about the Cody situation. Well, it seems based on the paragraphs that HelloLeash put on Cody's video or short or whatever, that she at least has some very basic understanding. And if you're going to claim that you are Jen's friend, wouldn't you want your friend to be well informed of situations going forward so that they can make an educated decision for themselves? So to me, that's not necessarily semantics to say, well, I don't interact with them. This is more of painting the big picture of how does this affect other people? How does this affect you? How does this affect Jen? How does this affect the way that the picture is painted? How does this affect the transparency and trust and honesty within yourself and your community? Because you owe your community that transparency in your community, which like I'm a tiny, teeny tiny itty bitty little baby YouTuber. Okay. I don't have a whole community. And my video was not made because anybody within my community came to me and said, you should address this. No one told me that I should, but people have told Alicia, or Alicia, Leash, whatever. People have told her, make a video. Don't give us 9 screenshots of a notes app apology. Make a video. Address this. And they've told her, we know, like, this is provably false. We know it's still there. Can you please address it? So that's why I'm still sitting here, kind of like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the phrase, the words. Pointing out consistencies. Not bleh, pointing out inconsistencies. Um, because I think it's important. I think it's important. And people take issue, like, I understand taking issue with misinformation and with inconsistencies in the sense and in the case of Hello Leash, because that can be very damaging. When you have the framing of Leash and Jen are friends, Jen is uneducated on the Cody situation. Leash seems to have some understanding of the Cody situation. She should be informing her friend, if they're friends, of what has taken place. Then it becomes okay, then we hold Jen accountable because now she knows and she's making an active choice to still support this person. And she actually does know. We know without a shadow of a doubt that she knows something. So that's a bigger picture than Paige Christie saying, well, this happens with everyone online, or this happens with everyone. I've seen this from everyone. They want to nitpick this. And then somebody going, everyone? It's much different. It's a very different type of situation. This isn't just semantics, what I'm sitting here pointing out. This is like a big framing. Whereas with the Paige Christie thing, this is like, you said everyone. It's not everyone. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by everyone? To deflect. And again, that's Hello Leash's thing is like, I don't interact with them. Right, but that verbiage is a deflection. You're deflecting away from having to take accountability. And then on top of that, this is what really irritated me and like just grinded my gears. This whole situation, is about like, which it should have been about Gabby. It should have stayed on Gabby, Alyssa, and Gracie. Period. Point blank. And it somehow became Jen versus Adam. And now Hello Leash is sitting there saying, well, I got called fucking, what was it? A fucking freak. And I got called weird. And I don't think I deserve that. Girl, can you please address the elephant in the room? Because the elephant in the room is not you. This isn't about you. You can look you can speak about you in a minute. This is about a whole bigger picture. And even in my coverage, even in my video where I addressed what I did, why, when, where, who, what, all of that, I painted the series of events and I took accountability. And yes, it was a series of events from my perspective, it was my experience. But I didn't make it about me. I recognized multiple different facets, this one and that one and this one over here. It was never about me being the victim of anything. It's about the role that I played. That's where Hello Leash, for me, is missing the mark. There's no role that she played. It's just like, well, I don't think I deserve to be called a fucking freak. That's rude. Why? Why are you calling me a freak? Why are you. And these people over here called me weird. That's rude. Like, okay, but we can revisit that later. Can you speak on what you stand by, what you don't stand by? Like, you say you're friends with Jen, and you say you don't agree with the things that she's saying or doing. Cool. Leave it there. This isn't about you. And if you think it is, then you're inserting yourself. Like, literally, I dipped my toes into the waters of this situation. Hello, Lee's just standing here, like, just storming into the room, like, hi, I'm here. I'd like to raise some issues. You said these things about me. And it's like, this isn't about you. The Google Doc wasn't about you. It asked you to basically take some accountability for your, you know, for your actions, for the parts that you played. That's all. This isn't about you. This is about Jen and her behavior, and Adam and his community, and Jen's community, and that's what it's about. I don't know how that got missed, and how you somehow, through all of that, even within your 9-page notes app apology, made this into you being the victim. But that ain't it either. And your audience, or I don't even know if it would be your audience, but your viewers, the people that have seen, excuse me, your most recent videos and have seen those posts, they're aware. They've spoken on it. And I really do hope that you have been bothered enough to read the comments that have been left on your videos. Because I think you and Jen and many others are due for a little bit of self reflection, a little bit of a step back, take accountability, maybe a little bit of a YouTube timeout, think things through just a little bit. I'm not the accountability police. I can't make people do what they don't want to do. I can't make them take accountability. I genuinely can't. I can't force them to do it. But I can point out when the actions don't match the words and when there's deflection and potential manipulation and avoidance, a little bit of Darvo. I can I can point that out. And I think it's important. This is what I will say going forward. I think it is very important that we continue to watch how these people respond to situations like this and start recognizing the patterns of behavior. That's the part that I think is the greatest takeaway of all of this is the patterns of behavior. Who was responding to what? How are they responding to it? Those sort of things. Are they responding well? Are they taking accountability? Are they being honest? Are they withholding information? Things such as that. And I think the more that we do that and we start looking at the big picture rather than focusing on the small details, which is what they want us to do, by the way, I think the more that we continue to look at the big picture and we approach it with nuance and grace and really look at the meat and potatoes rather than the little small peas that are on the plate rolling around, just because it happens to grab our attention, I think we'll be able to move forward better ourselves as viewers. And those of us who are creators will be able to better navigate who we allow in our circle, who we collaborate with, those sort of things. Also, because Prince's part of this is in the beginning of the video, I want to go ahead and say that Prince, it would be very easy for me to remove it if you would like me to. I thought it was worth noting. I thought it was worth sharing. I thought it was worth saying. But if you would like me to cut it out of the video, I would be more than happy to. Let me know. And until the next time, guys, hopefully we can get off of this. There is a whole other video. I need y'all to understand. There's a whole other video that's completely unrelated to any of this crap that I would love to be able to give you guys. But I had to get this off my chest too and just be like, nope, we're not playing this game. We're not doing this. We're not playing this. Y'all are not about to sit here and manipulate thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands and millions of viewers because y'all just don't want to be seen as the bad guy. Like, we're not doing that. I'm a teeny tiny itty bitty little baby YouTuber. I can take accountability when no one is even asking me to. You guys can take accountability when the entire world and your entire community and other people from other communities are asking you to. You owe it to them at that point. But that being said, I have a whole other video completely unrelated to this stuff coming to you guys if I can ever get around to it. I just needed to get this stuff out. I needed to get it out of my system. I needed to wash myself clean of it all. Um, and then we'll get back into our regularly scheduled programming. I have still, I think, 3 minimum videos coming to you guys that I can think of off the top of my head that I've been trying to work on. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. And hopefully, this will clear some of the things up that have been going on. Um, yeah, I hope you guys take care of yourselves. And again, Prince, if you would like me to remove your segment out of this, I have no issue doing that. I hope you're doing well, by the way. Um, and thank you so much for being at the premiere yesterday of my video and saying such kind things. I greatly appreciate it. Um, but yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. This is insanity. No, I don't. I don't want to have to deal with this anymore. I'm fully aware that there may be a possibility that I'm going to have to. I'm not looking forward to it. But if I have to, I will. And I'll handle it with as much grace as I have given myself in my previous video. And we'll keep on moving. Anyway, guys, take care. I love you guys so much. And thank you so much for your patience, your time, your energy. If you guys like this video, I don't know who would, but give it a like, I guess. And if you guys haven't subscribed, consider subscribing, hit the notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.